Today we are talking about a watch which is probably the most famous, or at least one of the most famous watches in the world. The Rolex Submariner, and in particular the 16610. It's probably well known for its bigger brother right now, the 116610. But the smaller brother is definitely worth to give it a try when you're having smaller wrists. The 40mm oyster case has definitely a pleasant size and fits to smaller wrists too. For the first time I saw the watch, it was a bit unsatisfying, to be honest. It looked really bulky and messed up. Nothing really was in place for me, but if you're getting more and more into watches, you realize why everything is on that watch so perfectly made and well at place. So everything has a function and a purpose, and right now for me it looks really clean. It's really crazy how your perception changes after a while, especially when you're spending more time with watches and when you go into details and background information. Now I'm a huge fan of these little details like these indices and their outer shell of polished metal. The Mercedes hand is also a kind of thing that I really hated. The first time I saw the watch, it looked out of place and just not correct. I don't know why, but it was horrible to watch. Like right now I love it, but back in the days it was really a pain point for me, probably one of the biggest. I also hated the Cyclops on top of the watch. It was just too much. Right now I love it, and most of the people can tell from far away that this has to be a Rolex or a fake or whatever, but it's one of the first things that you spot on the watch. And right now I like it, but it's not really helpful from a certain angle. You can't see the date at all. To be honest, how often do you really look at your watch to check the date? The bezel looks more like a circular saw blade to me, especially when I saw it the first time. I like that piece a lot. I think it's really helpful when you're into diving. I'm personally not, which is a shame, I know, especially when you wear a diver's watch, but you can also use it to cook pasta, or yeah, it can be a really helpful tool, but it usually gives the look of the watch that especially people love when it comes to diver's watches. One more thing that I enjoy about the bezel is definitely the sound of it, and I think I talk for a lot of people now, that kind of satisfying feeling and the sound of it when you twist it and it snaps in from the next step to the next step. And you mostly do it when you're bored, you sit around and wait for something, you're in a meeting, you start to twist the bezel just to hear the sound of it, and it's somehow so satisfying. The screwed crown is really grippy, and I love the logo on top of it, like the embossed Rolex crown. It also matches really good with the bezel. The clasp, yeah, comes usually in matte finish, which I really like. Yeah, I was never into these kind of super polished metal. I enjoy the bracelet a lot. You can spot that if you're into watches, you can spot that definitely from far away. The diver's extension is definitely helpful, but I guess more for people that are really into diving. I usually don't need that or use it that often. Just if I'm bored and I try to kill time and play around. But it's definitely a nice function on that watch. The movement, it's still the in-house caliber 3135, which is still running in the newest versions as well. It's a good sign, which I would say. Seems to be these calibers are built for eternity. Now we get to a point which I personally really enjoy, especially when it comes to vintage watches, leather watch strap, which usually not comes with the Rolex, but for me it gives a really nice feel and especially vintage look. A lot of people are more into the oyster bracelet, and I like it as well. Also, a lot of people don't like a leather watch strap on that watch and think it is just out of place, which I can't understand. I really love it, especially on all the Rolex watches, but also on this piece it's really stunning. It definitely gives a really nice vintage look. Here we see it's a Japanese leather, which is made in a really traditional way with the gold stitchings. It's really nice and buttery smooth. It's not only the look, it's also the feel that makes it really comfortable to wear that watch. Especially when you change your watch straps a lot, it definitely helps to have that kind of reference because of the lug holes. So yeah, the newer versions you will not find that. There are other ways to do it, but it's definitely easier to do it on that version, the Rolex Submariner. What do you think about a leather watch strap on that kind of watch? Do you more into like a sporty version, the oyster bracelet, or do you like the leather one? It's definitely not the watch for everyone, but it would be nice to know what you think about that and what your experience are. Write that down in the comments below and let me know. Thanks for watching and see you soon.